right, guys, welcome back to the Fletch Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Mulvaney. My co-host, Brooks Benson. Brooks, say what's up.
And Justin can't even say my name, so hello, everybody.
And today we have a very special guest, friend of the program, Brooks and I. Brooks knows him a lot better than I do. We kind of grew up with him and all that good stuff. President, I believe, is the proper title of Caribou Gear. President of Caribou Gear, Ted Ramirez. Ted, hello, buddy.
Yes. Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me on. I've been following what you guys have been doing, and it's pretty good. So thought we should chat.
Yeah, for sure. It's a more for fun podcast. We're not too serious. We talk about some serious topics, but we try to keep it light. And so,
yeah. Brooks was telling me you're making arrows.
Yeah. So Fletch, Archery, the actual business outside of the podcast. It's just custom arrows it's mostly for bow hunters. A lot of guys, they don't have the equipment to make them themselves, and sometimes they just buy, just the stock arrows and grab and go. They don't have anybody cut them to length or anything more to spec, and so it's something where that's maybe everybody's first step is they just go buy the pre-fletched and they don't really do anything with them, and then kind of the next step is like, all right, how do I make my setup better? And then eventually they kind of turn into guys like me where they want to build their own arrows and just do it all themselves, which is fine, but kind of a stepping stone in the process.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it, and like I said, it helps kind of grow people into archery, and I think it makes people better archers to have a true custom arrow, and some of them get to look cool having the different colored veins and arrow wraps and stuff like that, so have a little bit more flair to it.
That's sweet. When we played, did we ever play together, or did we just run in the same circles? Like I couldn't figure that out.
I think. See, I can't remember either. I was hoping you would know for a fact. I think we played on one team together because I don't know. I was one of those team hoppers where this team needed a guy for a weekend, that team needed a guy, but I had a core team that was they had their schedule, but then it was, hey, this team needs a filler guy, and we don't have anything going on with the core team. I want to say it might have been. Did you play with Keenan and Jurgot and those guys?
Keenan Eaton, yeah, yep.
Was that Double Angel team?
Oh man, I don't remember.
That would be.
Did you ever do
the only time we ever were on the same team?
Team Colorado or anything like that?
Team Colorado down in Arizona that fall classic, I think.
So then that's where we would have played.
I think that's it.
That was it. Perfect. Well, so have you been into hunting then that whole time, or?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, we were always a hunting family, and so, but it was just baseball kind of got in the way of hunting, and so it was we're not taking any special hunting trips. My dad and I, we talk about them once a week now on Monday episodes with him. It's just we did have hunts here and there, when I was really young and baseball wasn't top priority. It was all right, we did a couple antelope hunts and some elk hunts, late season rifle and stuff like that, cow tags, and started to kind of play around with archery a little bit, but then once high school and college came around, it was don't have the time for it, too busy. Yeah, and so got into a lot more after I graduated, got into duck hunting primarily, and then got a bow during COVID, and ever since then it's been archery, everything. So
okay, sweet. So got hooked.
Yeah, I'm hooked. I'm all in. Brooks and I had been talking kind of around that COVID time. That's when we started talking a lot more with each other, and I was like, yeah, I'm shooting my bow, and he's like, oh, that's cool. And then a couple years later, or not even a year later, he's like, oh, I got a gun. I'm like, there you go. You're on the path.
It's happening now.
Yeah.
I never looked back. My parents have never been so proud. Just kidding, they're not.
Okay. It's I don't know if they hunt or not. Because you weren't into hunting when we were at Garden, right?
No, I never was into hunting at all growing up or anything. So.
And now you're hooked. Can't get enough of it.
Can't get enough.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, what's your side of it, Ted? Tell us your what got you into hunting?
So, obviously, my father did. I feel like that's kind of how it goes, unless you're like Brooks, or there's some people that find that passion on their own. But my father was the big kind of inspiration into that. He hunted since when he was, in his teens here in Colorado. So when I was born, I would go to all the trade shows with him. He would take me hunting when I was 4 years old. We'd do turkey, whitetail in Nebraska. So did a lot of hunting stuff. He knew he wanted to get in the hunting industry somehow. Wasn't sure. We started with just making videos and little things like that, but it was anything too serious. But yeah, that was kind of the coming up of it. Was just I was raised and hunting, surrounded by it. As you said, though, with baseball and being as competitive as we were, baseball definitely got in the way, and it interfered with hunting and different trips and all of that. So that all had to stay on the back burner a little bit until after college or all of that. So yeah, but then after that, we were able to have more free time after college. Joined Caribou Gear, obviously, for the full time there, but even through high school and even part of middle school, I mean, the company started back in 2008. So with that being said, like, if I wasn't playing baseball, it was something involved with Caribou Gear, from packaging products to doing all that stuff, because when we first started and came out, we were just packaging in the basement and just trying to really grow it and make a living that way. We would slowly get orders coming in, and they slowly grew, and we worked our way into the garage. And then since then, though, we've expanded out, and so it's been a long journey. Any business definitely has the growing pains, and you learn a lot along the way. Stuff that I don't think they really teach in college, or they didn't teach you some real life skills in high school or college when it comes to that side of things. So, but I love it. I love the creating something out of nothing, and just the backside of it. It's the process. Trust the process. So we were taught with baseball, swinging, all that stuff. It's just so. I still believe in that, and I absolutely love it. Passionate what we do, and want to make a difference in the hunting industry. So that's the goal.
Awesome. So, like you said, the company started in 2008. Obviously, you weren't, so it's not your brainchild. But in the family, like you said, you helped all through growing up, small roots and all that good stuff. But so kind of give us a snapshot where things are now. Like, you guys were running like a big warehouse, and like what all does Caribou Gear do?
Yeah, so now we purchased a warehouse here in Parker, Colorado, and that's where we just inventory everything. We ship, we distribute out of there to Bass Pro, Cabela's, Sportsman, Shields, and then our e-commerce site is also through there. Our online store currently sells not only our products that we manufacture, but other companies' products, from, camping stuff, free shred meals, boots, tents, sleeping bags, all of that stuff. From what we manufacture now, we have expanded outside of just the game bag realm, because when we first started, it was like, you're the game bag company. Well, now we are the game bag company, but we're also more than that too. So we have tarps, shelters, rifle covers, bullet wallets, lanyards, a lot of accessory gear stuff. Yeah. And we target more to we want that quality, the quality. So a lot of our stuff can be on the higher end, but it's an investment that's designed to last you for multiple seasons, multiple years. And it's not just your throw away and get a new one the next year. So
Yeah, for sure.
definitely more quality stuff. So yeah, and we have a lot of stuff in the works for this coming year, partnerships. Just hired on a new marketing guy, so we have a lot of exciting stuff that'll be coming out, and partnering with some influencers from YouTube, Instagram, as well. So should be good. We're actually really excited about this year. Big plans. So, yeah.
I think like getting partnered with, like you said, influencers and people who are on YouTube or have podcasts and stuff like that, just to, I don't know, it gets your name out there even more. And I think that's the way just about everybody's going. And so, may as well hop on the train, because that's where not necessarily where the money's at, but it's where everybody's going. Because, you can run ad time on TV or ads in the newspaper, but those things don't really get seen, and so the way to get seen and heard is, YouTube and podcasts anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a new time. More streaming, less TV. Even, I mean, some Google ads and stuff like that. A lot of people want to see real world events or real people using the product. So reviews, real world reviews, photos of these customers using it. But it's not even really just, following the money. That's great. But we really just want to build awareness of our brand. We make a solid product, and we want everyone to know basically what we're about. And Caribou Gear, when we first started, the game bags was, I mean, every hunter should, when you go hunting, you go hunting not just for fun and hanging out with the boys or the girls, but it's about going out there, harvesting an animal, and bringing it home. You can eat it. So right. Meat care was our biggest thing, and we want to bring awareness to everyone in the industry that trash bags aren't the way to go. Some people still use cheesecloth, not the way to go. There are other game bags out there now that try to imitate what we do, but it's still a nylon material, and that doesn't breathe, and it actually has bacteria growth, and then that's when your meat starts to taste gamey. So the care for all of this, it starts right when you get this animal down. It's the whole process through, and we take pride in, eating what we kill and feeding the family. So it's building awareness on that, and yeah, just getting the product in influencers' hands, letting people see it, and getting real life reviews from these people, because
right.
We know we're the best game bag. It's just having these people go out there, test it, no BS, and yeah, it works. Right. And we just want them to know.
Yeah, for sure. So, you were talking about the competitors, how they're, it's not up to par with your gear, with your bags. What are your bags made of? Without giving the secret recipe, the secret blend, but what's your material compared to theirs?
So basically what I can say is it is a nylon synthetic blend. The fabric is supposed to act, feel, and breathe like cotton, but there's no cotton whatsoever in it. So it's going to wick away the moisture, and in the field, it'll actually age the meat properly and let it glaze over, kind of like what you would see at a butcher, or those high-end steak houses where they age that meat for days or weeks. That's what our game bags are going to allow it to do. And the reason we are, by the way, the only patented game bag on the market. And the reason being is because it comes down to not just our design, but our fabric. So our fabric is actually formulated for us specifically. So it actually starts in a liquid state into what you see, our fabric. So I didn't realize that you could even do that, but you can, and that's what really makes us special, is the fabric, and that we have a wide range of species specific game bags as well. So if you're going to hunt Alaskan Yukon moose, to deboning sheep in the Rocky Mountains, to, muley, full carcass bags, all of that stuff, citric acid spray for archers like you and your listeners, in those hotter seasons, you got bugs to deal with. So we have a citric acid spray that you can apply directly onto the meat or the game bag itself, and it's all food grade. So get home, have a wet cloth, and just wipe off that citric acid there, and it will help prevent bacteria growth in the field. So it's good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, when I was doing my research just to come in here not totally clueless, because I've known about you and Carrot, and you have the business, and it's like, man, don't go in here acting like you don't know anything that he's talking about. So yeah, I mean, you are the only patented game bags, and like that's super awesome. It's something that obviously the idea of a patent, nobody can take that from you, and I think it's obvious that you guys have like the best stuff. So yeah, that's super cool. So I guess where do you see things going as far as with the game bags, or as far as product wise, any new thing that I know you mentioned like tarps and stuff like that, but anything kind of big on the horizon there?
Yeah, so I can't say so much on future products that we're going to be coming out with, but our newer items would be our rifle cover and our new Montana tarp. The Montana tarp is it's kind of a game changer, I think. We have our Colorado, which was a 5x4. Our Montana is the new 7x8. Has multiple configurations, so you could technically use it as a tent if you needed to. It's fully waterproof. It has 4 layers of PU waterproof coating on it, and it's a ripstop nylon, and just the tarp itself is around 12 ounces, 7x8, comes with guy lines, custom tent stakes, all of it. And when you have that, it's nice to have it. And when you do have it in the field, it's just wind blocker, snow, rain, all of that stuff. So it's a key asset to all of your hunting gear. The other one would be the rifle cover. That's our new hottest seller. We have it in a green and now the new one in black. The thing that separates us there from any other cover is, first, fabric is waterproof. The material that we use is on the barrel and the butt. Oh, there you go. So double-lined cordura-ballistic fabric on the butt and the barrel of that rifle. And that'll fit rifles anywhere from 36 to 56 inches in length. Has an orange pull tab there on the butt of the rifle too. And then on the inside, this is great. You came prepared. On the inside there too, so that orange pull tab, that's a pulley there, so you can actually adjust it depending on the size of your rifles, and that adjustment is sewn in just on the inside of the rifle, so it's not going to get snagged on anything. But it'll house a suppressor and a scope with a sunshade too, so it's very versatile, fits multiple rifles, and waterproof. In the state of Colorado too, it does also count as a soft case. So that's huge on the selling point, because it has closures on the bottom. And then we also include some straps too that can go on the front and the back of the scope just for dust prevention. Dude, I love it. Came so prepared. It's crazy.
Brooks, you're the man. Came prepared with that one.
Prepared.
So
Awesome.
those are the two that I would say are huge. Our other brand, by the way, I don't know if you've heard of, is Caribou Gear. It's that one. We have some pretty sweet duffel bags. They're super
they are
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was
you didn't come prepared with that?
I still have it with it's
I know you have one.
I know. I think Aaron has it right now, honestly, because he took it ice fishing.
Okay. Yeah. So that's another big one. That's a solid bag. And all of our products, Koyukon to Caribou Gear, is all just by Self-Guided Hunting Alaska. So multiple hunts up there, float hunts, and it's our version of what we think a Alaska tough duffel bag should be. So yeah, definitely check that out. And that other brand is koyukongear.com, but you can also just buy it off of the caribougear.com website too.
Perfect. Yeah. When I was looking, I was like, oh, is that a different company? And I was, again, trying to do my research. I was like, oh no, that's just I figured, because I remember Brooks talking about it. Because he was telling me mentioned it on one episode that he packed a duffel for whatever trip, and he told me it was your brand. So, oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Yeah. And Brooks, I mean, based on your experience, don't just take mine from it. Like, you've taken it ice fishing, you've taken it hunting, seen videos of you in snow. Like, what are your thoughts on the duffel bag?
I mean, it's funny because, like, I remember when first night hunt, I think it was the first night or the second night, we took it hunting. It dumped snow. It was a second season rifle back in 2023. Jeez, it's been that long. And I was just like, I'm just going through all this stuff. I think my camera was in there and like a couple other like more expensive items. And I was like, let's just see if this holds. And yeah, everything was dry. So thank goodness.
That's quite the test. Let's just put all my expensive stuff in this bag and go put it outside. You had some faith, man. I love it.
Well, yeah,
it worked out for great. The biscuit.
Yeah. I was like for the content, you know.
Perfect.
This is for a review. I'm purely doing this for a review.
Yeah. If the camera's in there, how are you getting content?
Well, my other camera.
I didn't think that through.
Wait a minute. No, but yeah, like we use it for that. Like we use it for ice fishing. It's great for ice fishing because, as anyone's been ice fishing, it can get very, very wet and very, just kind of just damp out there, especially when you start getting like a fire going or something, or the heater going. Everything can get really soggy around you. So it's freaking awesome. It's the smaller one. It's not like one of the bigger ones, but still it holds a lot of our gear and keeps us dry the whole time. So
yes, I should say we have them in 40, 70, and 90 liter duffel bag size. And then they come in green and or gray. The 40 liter, what Brooks is talking about, what he has, that's actually airplane compliant. So carry on. And those also include carrying handles and backpack straps as well. So, yeah, you get the whole bit there. So it's good.
I mean, you mentioned it before, and just like being for the hunter, like all those things are like just totally considering. You know, you made these things in mind, being like, okay, what would I want to use, and how would I want to use it? And it's like being a carry-on bag and, you know, waterproof and durable and all these things. And it's like all the extra straps. It's like, you know, you find these even like bigger name companies, without like actually naming names, like just in comparison, they don't have all these extra features. And it's like, well, it's kind of one faceted and not multifaceted. And so to be able to use it in a wide variety of ways, it kind of tailors to the user is awesome.
Well, and I think what's cool about that too is that because we are hunters, we eat, sleep, and breathe it. Like it's what we do. So real life experience kind of leads you to these design types and different ideas that, you know, some of these bigger companies or corporate companies, they're not led by hunters, and it's just all by the numbers, or, you know, that aren't outdoor enthusiasts. And so then sometimes it's like, well, that design doesn't even make sense. And for us, we're all about being able to do multi-use stuff to where if you buy this item, I want to be able to use it for multiple things, kind of like our hunter's tarp. You can process meat on it, but then you can also use it as a meat pack liner so you're not getting blood all over your pack frame. You can use it as a wind blocker, glass underneath it. So it's a multi-use tool, and that's really what we strive for, is something that just makes sense. It's common sense, but has these little tweaks and things that make us unique and special, that hunters can be like, yeah, it was totally, like, can't believe I didn't even think of that. That makes sense.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's
for sure.
That's what we're all about.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, I guess, I don't know, there's so much to talk about, but I guess one side I wanted to kind of get into maybe some hunting stories. You know, you get to hunt still quite a bit running the business?
Yes. And looks like this year I will be doing some more of that, just to be able to create content and kind of that brand awareness. Can I tell you one of my favorite hunts? Maybe.
Oh, like absolutely. I would love to hear your favorite hunt.
So if I have to just say, have you ever been to Alaska? Have you guys ever been to Alaska?
Been there
For
summertime.
Okay. So fishing there, first off, was amazing. During like the salmon run, it puts the Colorado fishing to shame. Brooks, highly recommend you do that one of these days. Because yeah, it's great.
Heck yeah, I'm down.
But off of that, I've gone moose hunting now in Alaska 3 times, 2 float hunts, 1 drop camp, and based on that, I highly recommend doing a float hunt. The second hunt, though, is what I want to get into. That was in 2018 now. We did a 21-day float hunt, and it was on the 14th day, we finally saw a moose. And this was, mind you, we went 2 years before that and didn't see a moose, did a float hunt. 14 days. So it just was a really nice remote camping trip. And so we did the second hunt in 2018. And again, we went 14 days without seeing anything. And in Alaska, a legal bull has to be 50 inches or wider for a non-resident. So that was also something you have to consider. So you can see moose, but you're like, that's too close, so that's not legal. So you have to be very cautious of that. But we actually, after any long period of time when hunting, you get discouraged sometimes. So 14 days in, we just rafted to this site and we get all situated. You have to set up your tent. You have to hang up food in a tree, find kind of where you're going to have your meal cooking station because you want it away from your tent because in Alaska, you're part of the food chain there and don't want to get attacked by bears. Got all situated. We're sitting down at the fire, just eating our dinner, and across the river, you just start hearing a moose in the distance. And if you can hear a moose, they're close. It's that the way they sound, it's they're a lot closer than they actually sound. And next thing you know, you just see it, and it's walking up the bank right across from our camp, and then rocks back down. And these animals are so large, and their legs are so long that they just make up ground so fast that by the time we were like, oh, okay, let's get ready, grab the rifle, it already made its way down and was already just trekking across to our side. But in the terrain of Alaska, it's thick, it's marshy, so it's not just simple, like, okay, point and shoot. We had to try to trek it across and head it off on the behind our camp. And it was one of the craziest things because you had this small window. We knew it was legal based on what we saw from across the river. So we had this small window that you just grabbed your stuff and you just ran. And it was right before it got in the marshy area. I leaned up on this tree and it wasn't too tough like of a shot. It was 50 yards on this massive animal. And I remember it was kind of just like, all right, I have one good shot and that's it before it walks into this area. And I pulled the trigger and it just, like that. Took one step and it just crashed face first. And I always make fun of people that like get overly excited and they like raise their hands up and cheer. But I could not help myself. It was just days and days, weeks of just hunting and working your butt off, the planning, everything that goes into hunting Alaska. And to realize like it paid off is probably one of the greatest feelings ever. And then I will say, once you get it down, reality kind of hits you on, oh, we have a lot of work ahead of us. And I don't think videos and photos do justice of how large a moose body actually is. You literally have to, when you're standing over it, turn your head to see end to end. And you're like, wow, this thing is like prehistoric. It's a dinosaur. So I would say that was one of my most like fulfilling hunts that I've ever been on. Most exciting. And just the experience all the way around from being on a bush plane. Those, I call it just a lawnmower with wings. They're just like, they say they weigh stuff and you need to be at a certain point, but when it really comes down to it, it's just like, yeah, this should be good. And they just start throwing stuff on there and you're like, okay. And yeah, it's an experience all the way around. And when you do those float hunts, why I recommend that too is you can fish in some of the most remote areas. And it's a great experience. Highly recommend it to anyone looking to do that or dream hunt. Yes, definitely a dream hunt. You should definitely do it. So yeah, that's my story.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking to it.
Kind of sticking to Alaska. My experience, like I said, haven't been hunting up there. Got to do a bunch of fishing. So I went a summer and a half. Well, actually, I've been up there 3 times now. So a summer and a half of playing for in Anchorage for one of the teams up there, and then one summer of coaching that same team. So all of that was, the very end of May to like the very 1st of August. So you're only there for 2 months basically, and but it's right in the middle of like prime salmon fishing. So you got that whole system, college baseball, especially up there, it like lives and dies off of host families. And so, everybody's host family has, different occupations and stuff like that. But there were a couple that of the host families that had cabins and would actually like run like guiding services out of their cabins for fishing. And so one of them, he's like, oh, we've got like 2 cabins and like a bunch of tents and stuff like that. So like half the team went down and we got to do some fishing. Like almost all of us limited out on reds. And so just super awesome to be able to fish. But I guess you mentioned bears. Did you ever run into any bears up there?
We never ran into any. This last hunt on the drop hunt, we did actually see a massive brown bear across the like pond, I guess you could call it, and it looked like a Volkswagen, like a VW, dude. Like the belly was almost rubbing on the grass on the marsh, and it was just massive. And it puts a lot of things in reality. Like, I hope that doesn't come this way, because that would be terrifying.
Volkswagen with claws that wants to kill you.
No joke. They're massive. Saw a lot of tracks. I mean, big old pads. From that though, wolves. Definitely, you hear wolves a lot. You never really see them because they're so smart. They know they're smart enough to respect you too and keep their distance. And it's kind of the same with bears. Like, this is their home. They know you're there. And as long as you don't piss them off or tempt them with food, you should be okay. But it's always just being very cautious. And when you're in Alaska, I mean, it's so remote that even when you have, the satellite phone and everything else, you have that SOS button. It still takes time. This last hunt, we actually had to use the SOS button and get someone flown out. But if it's something that's super, super serious, it takes hours still to get a bush plane to come out there, pick you up, coordinate it with Coast Guard or National Guard and transport you, ambulance. I mean, you're a ways out there from any civilization. They had to take a bush plane and then also a Pilatus plane. So once they landed back in the village, then they drive you over to their airport. Pilatus plane takes you, then you fly into like Fairbanks or Anchorage, and that's when you get to the hospital. So when you're out in the bush like that too, you just have to think everything through and know what you're doing. No irrational decisions, being safe and cautious of everything around you, because it can get bad very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the only wildlife aside from fish that I encountered up there, my first summer, saw a bunch of moose actually, and I had a what is a female? Is it a cow?
Yeah.
Yeah, so cow moose and the baby, whatever, they were coming out. I was in my car. We were just driving down the road. They came out of the woods, just driving along the road, going, I don't even know. I think I was going to somebody else's house to pick them up. I think we were like going to the gym or whatever. And, they came out and were like trotting along the road. And I was going like 30, 40 miles an hour. And like, they just looked like they were barely kind of just not even on a jog. Like they were just kind of trotting. I was like, how are you keeping up with me? And then I like look over and like the mama moose is just like, her belly is like at the roof of my car. I'm like, yeah, that is a huge creature.
Yeah. That's a lot bigger than you think. And when you see him in person like you did, it's like, oh, wow. Okay. I'm humbled. I'm humbled a little bit.
Yeah. Crazy. Then I did see one bear my second summer. It was a black bear. My host family, they had bird feeders, which you're really not supposed to do up there. And they're like, well, I mean, they were an older couple, like very old, but they were just, I love the birds, and it's like, I guess you love the bears too. Like they had the little water pond or whatever for just decoration, and then the bird feeder like not even 10 yards from it. And so like this bear, we sat in the living room and watched him. He went water, bird feeder, getting up. Like it was just so funny to watch him. He was there for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, he was in heaven. He's like, it's just great. I don't have to work so hard.
Yeah, but
nice.
That was the extent of wildlife I saw.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize you spent some time up in Alaska.
Yeah, summertime.
Is that a place you could? Summer is gorgeous up there, right? I mean,
yeah, you can't.
Would you live up there? Would you ever live up there? Maybe half.
I would do like a spring to early fall like vacation home.
Okay.
And on the Kenai or something like that, because I mean, I would love to hunt up there. I think, hearing all the stories and seeing all the videos that people do and on TV and stuff like that, it's like, that looks like a lot of fun, but it also looks like a lot of money. And so, if there's ever a day where it's like, hey, I have the opportunity and it's not really going to like mess too much up, like, hell yeah, I would go. But no, to live up there, like late spring to like early fall, like the temperatures, the weather, all that stuff, awesome. Like it rains a little bit, but it's not like a huge deal. Super moderate climate. It's not too hot and muggy. It's not freezing cold. The sun being up all day is like so fun. You just feel like you get to do anything for as long as you want, and like the day never ends.
Yeah, until winter rolls around, and then it's just dark all the time.
Yeah, haven't had the opportunity to be up there in the wintertime, and I can't say I would look forward to that.
No, the latest I've ever been is the September just for moose season, but yeah, I've heard about their winters, and doesn't sound appealing. So
yes,
I'll stick with September.
Right. Brooksy, we got to get you to Alaska.
Yep. That's the goal. I just need to get to Alaska.
Yeah. Maybe we can get you to Alaska.
Yeah. Do a little hunting fishing trip. That'd be sweet.
Content creation, huh, Brooks?
Content.
We can get the full Fletch and Caribou Gear collab up in Alaska.
It'd be like, newbie in Alaska. Let's see how he does.
We'll just drop you off. It'll just be a solo hunt. We'll drop you off there in Alaska. No sat phone. We'll pick you up in 7 days.
In 7. Okay.
And by the way, you have to find your own food. No free shred deal.
Basically, you're going to die out here. See ya.
Hey, that's not true. I think studies show you can do 7 days with. You'll have water. No, you just won't have food.
We believe in you, Brooks. You'd make it.
Yeah. We'll give you a water filter, the straw kind. So.
That's sweet. So, outside of Alaska, more like Colorado, and you said you used to hunt whitetail in Nebraska. What hunting do you do more recently, like in the last few years?
More just mule deer, elk, here, typically around or in the Flat Tops area. Depends on the season. Some archery stuff and antelope. But yeah,
Nice.
I don't know. For some reason, after going to Alaska, those hunts just don't feel as special. That's something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think this year too, Brooks and I were talking. Maybe I'd tag along on a turkey hunt and see about getting something else going too.
Heck
Nice.
yeah.
So, Brooks, what do you have going on this year for the hunting season?
Well, that turkey.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah.
The turkey, I mean, obviously September elk. The goal for September elk, so my wedding is supposed to be on September 27th over on the western slope of Colorado. Thank you. Over on the western slope of Colorado.
Did you say supposed to be?
Hey, don't let me tell my story. It is the September. Sorry, Chelsea's listening in.
No, we got him in trouble. We got him in trouble.
Don't say supposed to.
Anyways,
I thought it was like a done thing. Is it not?
no, it is. I don't know why I said
okay.
supposed to, but
Okay.
anyways, September 27th. So what I'm going to do that morning on September 27th is go out, kill an elk, and then serve it for the dinner that night at the wedding.
Very, very positive thinking. I like it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get catering though, just in case?
No.
Okay. Okay.
This
No,
whole day
perfect.
just lies on Brooks's back to harvest an elk.
That's how easy it is to get an elk here in Colorado. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
wish.
oh man, if that happened, that'd be unbelievable. But I don't see that happening. But I mean, I'll for sure go early September for elk, and then try to get some leftover tags for maybe some mule deer for rifle. I'm trying to get my coworker. He gets a lot of bucks on his property, and I'm going to try to get archery tag for that, because I think since it's east of I-25, I think for archery mule deer, it's like beginning of October till like into December you can go. I think there's like certain breaks you have to take because of rifle, but that's how long, like, because it's east of I-25 instead of west. So I like to get one of those too, and I think they're like a 0 or 1 point tag. So
Interesting. Didn't know that. So
Yep.
Justin, do you come out here like ever to hunt? Or?
I haven't been back to hunt Colorado. Like the last year that I hunted Colorado was 2019, and that was for ducks. I did an archery elk in 2018, and didn't even see an elk, didn't even hear an elk, and so that was my last elk hunting experience and last Colorado hunt for big game. I hunted ducks like that winter, but yeah, no, I haven't been out to Colorado in. Well, I go back to visit family, but I haven't been back for hunting in the now, I guess, 6+ years since I've left.
Okay. Nice. So remind me, what high school did you go to?
Arvada West.
Okay. Arvada West. And then college, where'd you play ball at?
Northern Colorado, up in Greeley.
Okay. That's right. Put it all together still.
Yeah. So Brooks and Ted went to Garden City, which we've mentioned many times now. Garden City Community College, Southwest Kansas. Southwest Kansas, super great for not a whole lot
The views
other
of the
than,
mountains. The
what's
views
that?
of the mountains.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
The gorgeous scenery.
Yeah.
And then
Beautiful scenery. And they're really well done. Like Southwest Kansas is good for pheasant hunting. Like that's pretty much all. And spot and stock mule deer, like low country mule deer, is pretty decent out there.
and Justin coached at guard. So,
Jurgot and Finney.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I
Fletch
was there
so mad
for
on that.
3 seasons. Jurgot was there for 1, our last season there.
You were there for 3 seasons?
it could have been me.
Ben Brooks, but he was too scared to give up the dream.
I should have just gave it up.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I was there spring of 2020. Yes, so fall of 2019 through spring of 2023.
Okay.
2022, sorry. So,
Crazy.
yeah,
didn't-
so like
I
basically
forgot.
like right after we graduated, I spent 1 year as a grad assistant at Regis, and then took the pitching coach job at Garden and then I was there for 3 years, and then from there went to Louisiana, was at a NAIA down there for 1 year, and then got married. Well, moved up here, then got married, and been in Nashville for 2 years now, basically.
Okay.
No longer coaching. I'm digging holes, working on irrigation at a golf course.
Okay. Nice.
Much
Honestly,
better
sounds
schedule.
better than listening to parents.
I will say the one good thing about college baseball was you didn't have to deal with the parents
That's true.
other than like extreme circumstances. And it was really easy to be like, hey, I'm not talking to you. I will talk to your son. And then you just kind of rip into the son. Like, you just had mommy call me about you not being able to tie your shoes in the morning. Like, I'm not tying your shoes for you. I'm not spoon feeding you.
I remember one of Finney's number 1 rules was, if I have to talk to one of your parents about playing time, you're done.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I was like, I think there was one guy that tried to get his parents, and that did not end well.
Yeah. No, he's done.
Definitely not with Finney. Oh man.
No, so we were there, or I was there during a tricky time. So my very first spring, spring of 2020, yeah, first spring, COVID, and so it changed everything. All of its rules of not talking to parents, not to like it's, and if I'm talking to a parent, it's because of like you're having a medical emergency or some other crazy thing, or like fundraising. That's the only other time I'll talk to him. And then it was like, all right, COVID happened. And he's like, I mean, I can talk to the guys all I want, but the parents are as clueless as the kids. So I need to include everybody. And so it was like, then all of a sudden it turned into communicating with parents like once a week. And yeah. And so he had to change on a lot of things because of those rules that came into place and yada, yada. But yeah. But then once we got back to somewhat normal and just baseball, it was like, yeah, but I'm not talking to you about playing time. I'm not talking to the parents about baseball. I'm talking to the parents about, yeah, your kids are in safe hands, but like, I'm not talking to you about baseball.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Let them coach,
Mhm.
And the parents just have to trust the process.
Yeah. That, like I said, that was the big advantage of college baseball. I have not coached below like any age group below college, but I just know because my dad, like growing up, he was always our coach or my coach on all these club teams and whatnot, and I would hear the stories. Maybe I wasn't supposed to all the time, but I would just hear the stories of, yeah, yada yada, this parent called me, wondered why this is happening, and then yada yada's parent, I had 10 emails from 10 parents. It's like just such a headache. And obviously high school baseball is a whole other thing because people feel, I'm playing for my high school, I'm obligated. My son's playing for the high school, he's obligated playing time, and it's like,
yeah, tough
blow
time.
my head up with all of those.
When Ted and I were shooting our bows on Sunday or whatever day it was,
last Sunday.
yeah, him and I were talking about how they like these kids these days like really don't like the process. They just want the result right away, and that's what hurts them.
Right. No doubt.
Yeah,
It's Go ahead, Tess.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say I think the process on anything that's It's how you get the best results. It's just work.
Exactly. And I'm going through it now too, just with the business, and it's like, why am I not $1 million business right now? Like, I need the instant gratification of I started a business, it's successful, right? Like, that's just the way things work. And it's all because, I don't know, maybe I have too much Finney in me now of like the damn internet and damn kids, this damn generation. I know I'm part of it a little bit, but it's like truly, like, you can go online and order whatever you want in a heartbeat and you'll have same day delivery. Like, I know it's such a small thing, but like, you just need to go get something from the grocery store, and instead of going and doing that, you do instant delivery from Amazon, and it's at your door. You don't have to do anything, and maybe you spent an extra $1, and it's like, oh, if I just spend the extra $1, I'll get whatever I want, and nobody can stop me. It's like there is no. And I know that's not necessarily mindset based. I mean, at the root it is, but in everything, it's just like, people are not the same. And I see it now with we bring on new co-workers that are just greenskeepers, and typically younger guys, and there's just like no work ethic, and it's like, where did the work ethic go? And I know this has been said over the last like 10 years, not just recently, but it's like, man, I feel old saying it's like nobody wants to work hard.
Yeah, back in my day.
Yeah.
So think about it in this way, though. It's that much easier now to stand out. If you can do the process and if you work hard, it's that much easier to be successful. There's just a process on all of it. And being able to work through that and, having that basically tunnel vision to not get distracted and just trust it and go and be like, all right, I'm going to make my own luck. And stuff just happens, It's how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe in that fully, on all of that stuff. So,
yeah,
you'll get there though, if you just keep working on it. And honestly, it's just that consistency. And that's why I love working out so much. Like, when you work out, you can't work out one time and then be like, oh yeah, saw results. It's not how it works. It's becomes like
hit the gym one day and now I'm shredded.
Yeah. It's not how it happens.
Yeah.
It's a process of everything too. Just because I work out, well, my diet sucks. That's great. Kind of cancels it all out. It's a little bit of everything, but it's all in portions. Still want to have a life.
Right. No doubt. Well, I don't know. I think we've kind of hit a lot of the things that we kind of wanted to talk about. I don't know. Do we have any ideas we want to bring up? Anything I missed?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
My time is going to be coming up here pretty shortly, but
yeah. No, we're right about that hour mark, so it's kind of perfect timing. So, no, it was awesome having you on, and
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Love that you and Brooks are still connected, and you guys can share a lot of knowledge with each other. Maybe a little bit more one-sided, but no,
I'm learning.
It's awesome.
I'm learning everything from Brooks.
Yeah, I know everything. What are you talking about?
But no, it was awesome to reconnect, and we'll definitely stay in touch. And I guess we'll close with this. Where can the people find you and your business and Caribou Gear?
Yeah, so our products not only are sold in the big box stores, but you can just find us on caribougear.com or koyakongear.com as well. So, and then you can follow us on social media. Instagram would be Caribou Gear. Same with Facebook, TikTok, all of that stuff. So, yeah, we're out there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll throw links to all of that in the descriptions and comment section, whatever. So
awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, with that, we'll wrap it up, and appreciate Ted for being on, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for listening.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.